She is a master trainer for various topics such as mathematics and upholding ethics and integrity in schools, value education, classroom management, life skill. She conducted so many, topics or so many, for different CEO, such as capacity building workshop for leadership, interdisciplinary projects, art integrated learning, cooperative learning, stress management and mindfulness, models of teaching, communication, a strategy for happy classroom, and attended so many various online experimental learning CBSE training also. She has conducted even offline workshops on behalf of COE Pune and Mumbai and Thane. She has conducted online training program for principal on NEP. So I would like to request ma'am once again just to start the training. Thank
Yes.
you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. A warm welcome to all the participants and all the educators. Today's session is something very near and dear to all of us, right? So before we start any program, I think thinking about Almighty is always the best thing. I have a small prayer with me. 1 minute. Anyway, I have a small prayer with me, which I will say, and I want you to say it after me in your minds. I'll come to this prayer at the end again so that you know why I started with this prayer. Okay? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This is a very small prayer, but as educators, I think it is very important for us because we are the only people on this world, professionals, I would say, who mold other, human beings. A doctor saves life, but we make lives. So I think we we should accept our learners as they are and mold them, right? And ethics and integrity becomes a very, very important factor for us in school because, as I said, we mold life. A simple calculation before I go ahead, if you are teaching 40 students in one class and if you are teaching 5 classes, 5 into 4 is 200, you are reaching out to 200 students. Those 200 students will reach out to their parents. So 2 into 4. So you can calculate how many people you are reaching out to. And when you build this ethics and integrity, we have grown up with those features, those things in us, values in us. When you instill them in your learners, you will see a changed world around you, right? So let's go ahead. Today, first, we will see what is ethics, what is integrity, then how we can improve and build ethic integrity in our classrooms, and why is it so important for a teacher. And lastly, how I can build on my ethics and integrity as a human being. This is what we are going to see today in 1 hour session. These are small questions which I will pose in between. You are free to write the answers in the chat box, so I know what your thought process is. Whenever we see, instead of cashier, it may be any person who collects money, okay, cash for some reason, and steals some part of that cash because no one is going to understand, right? This thing happens many times. That means something is wrong, right? An army person or a navy person sells out the secrets of the nation to the enemy nation for some price of whatever the reason may be. It is again ethically wrong, right? And we say it so loud also. But do we think that we are also doing things which are ethically wrong at times? My next pointer here is about corruptions, right? We have accepted corruption in our day-to-day life. A very simple example I will give you. You're traveling to your school by a bike or a vehicle, maybe a car, four-wheeler. You are in a hurry to reach school and you jump signal, right? I mean, you cross the signal and the traffic cop police is standing there and he tells you, he comes behind you and he tells you that you have to pay a fine of 1500. You don't want to pay the fine. You are getting late for the school. You want to reach school on time. At the same time, you don't want to pay the fine. You try to talk to him, argue with him, and come down to a point. You give him 500 rupees and you go to your school. He goes on his own way for his work. Is it right that you have done, or is it right that he has done? Right? These are small things which happen in our day-to-day life. But we don't look at him, these things as, corruption happening. It is a part of corruption. Another example about ethics is in our schools, we do take out printouts of assignments, worksheets, right, for our students. Now, you want to take a colored printout, you know that one printout will not make much a difference. So, without informing anyone, you take a printout. Is it ethically correct? It may be a very small example that I'm sharing here, a day-to-day examples which happen every day in most of the places. But we overlook it saying that it's okay, right? This is generalized, okay? This is not pertaining to someone. These are general statements which usually you see things happening. It is very nice when someone says, no, we don't do this. It's really good. But at times, times are so difficult at times, and you need to get it done, right? I go ahead. What happened to my PPT? 1 minute. You can see my presentation, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Another scenario, I'll put off scenarios first and then I'll come, which is always, this scenario is about the gray zone that we call. Many times we see someone's computer is on, the email box is open, and inquisitiveness makes us look through their email box. At times, I'm sitting in my school and I have a free time. The net is there. I try to surf and in the internet and try to do my shopping. Is that correct ethically? 100, you will see so many of us using WhatsApp, sending personal messages on through our mobiles during school hours, because we are online today. The mobile is in our hand today. No one can come to know about it. Is it ethically correct? Another thing is gossip. Gossip is something that we all do. No one can write in the chat box, no, I don't gossip, right? Gossip is something we all do and we all enjoy. But at times when we are gossiping, we try to damage someone's reputation. We try to talk wrong about someone. Is that ethically correct? We need to think, we need to sit and reflect that these things, if they are happening in my life, is it the right thing that I do? Today on the internet, you will see so many things which you can surf. You download, but do we always give the annotation saying that this line I have taken from this book? Do we always say that this person is the author of this book? If we do that, nothing like that. But if we don't do, is it ethically correct? Right? Now, all these things happen depending on what value system we have. Depending on our value system, we behave. Right? Now, I may be a person, for example, who is a very family oriented, I like to work, okay, and that's the reason I want to be with my family whenever there is free time. And I have planned something for my family on a Saturday, which is a holiday, and suddenly my principal says we are working on this particular Saturday. Now, I have promised something for my family. I am a quality time giver to my family. I will feel very upset about it because I cannot go with my family. And I will start arguing with my own self. Why can't I go? Should I take a leave and go? Should I not go? Now, this tussle which happens in your mind is called as cognitive dissonance. Whenever you do something wrong against the values that you have inbuilt in yourself, it is called as cognitive dissonance. For example, when you give 500 rupees to the traffic police and you go, maybe throughout the journey, you may feel that why did I give this bribe? I should have paid the amount and taken a receipt from him. Now, this what happens in your mind is called as cognitive dissonance. And this happens because our inbuilt value system says something different and what we behave is something different. So the both don't agree to each other and this tussle happens. And this leads to stress most of the time. So it is always better to believe and work according to your structure of ethics and integrity. So cognitive dissonance leads to inconsistency between our thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, and behavior, creates the need to resolve contradictions or conflicts, beliefs, values, and perceptions. Okay, this occurs only when we are attached to the attitudes and our beliefs. As I said, if I am a workaholic person, I will not feel anything to miss a Saturday and be in school rather than be at home and go with my family out. But a person who is a family person will feel very bad about it, right? So it depends on each one's value system, how you have been brought up. Now, again, this is something to think. Is importance of practicing ethical behavior, is it important? What characteristics do teachers need for success? Is ethics and integrity a part of it? What are some of the reasons that people give for justifying minor violations of ethics? Most of the times, this happens in my school at times. Like in our school, you cannot sit and teach. You have to stand and teach. Okay, I don't know about your schools. But many times it happens that you find a teacher sitting and teaching. And by chance, the principal lands up there. The teacher will tell in front of all the students, no, madam, today was the first day I was sitting. So you are talking something which is wrong, and you're teaching your students also that telling lies is okay. And that is how ethics and integrity becomes very, very important for teachers. As I said initially, we build life. So if your students hear this, that you are saying such a thing, they will also think speaking lies is very, very okay in their life. Right? So as teachers, we need to be more alert. Now, when you say ethics, ethics is all the values that are there in you or around you where you need to build on them, right? Integrity is something doing what is right, even if it's difficult and no one knows. Many of us as teachers keep doing our work religiously, right? Even if something goes wrong, we will try to rectify and do our work because we think this is my profession, this is what I have to do, and that is integrity. Doing what is right, even if it is difficult and no one knows. Right? Many times you will see one of your colleague may be doing this, that he will not complete his work on time or she may not complete and last moment just copy from someone and give, which is not right. But 99% of teachers do their things even if no one is watching them. I have 3 definitions of integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Just now I spoke about it. Integrity is telling myself the truth, and honesty is telling the truth to other people. At times I may say, I have completed my portion on time to my coordinator, but in reality, all exercise complete, right? So when I tell myself, no, I still have my class to go, which I need to complete my portion, that means I am truthful to myself. That is integrity. And honesty is telling the truth to others. Like you tell a coordinator, no, I still have one exercise left. Though today was the last date, I will come tomorrow. Or I will take an extra class and complete. That is integrity. Many of you are joining workshop, the online sessions for certificate sake. Is it ethically correct? Many of you will start putting in the chat box attendance link, rather than paying attention to the workshop session going on, paying attention to the attendance link. Is it ethically correct? Just think for yourself. There may be 99 people over here, percent people who may be listening to me carefully, but maybe 10% here who are only there for attendance. So think those 10%, think for yourself, is it ethically correct? Even if you learn 5% from a workshop, it makes a lot of difference when you start implementing. Okay, can I move to the next definition? Integrity is standing up for what you believe is right. Always stand up for the truth. Always stand up for what you feel is correct. Living by your highest values. When you stand for your right, it is you stand for the highest values. It is being honest and sincere with others and yourself. You don't have to remember what you have told last time if you are talking the truth. You are a person of integrity when your words and action match, right? So what you're saying and what you're doing is the same thing. You don't fool yourself into doing what you know is wrong. So integrity is something is there in all of us, but we need to develop it a little more so that we go ahead and make ourselves more competent, more happy at the end of the day, and we can sleep well at the end of the day because we have done a good job throughout the day. Again, I have some questions to think. What does it mean to you to have integrity? You could put in the chat box what it means for you to think that you have integrity. We all are strong in integrity, but the surrounding or the circumstances change in such a way that somewhere things go wrong, right? You are walking on the road. Another example I will tell you, you're walking on the road, you have to reach your school on time. Like in our school, we have the thumb impression biometric system. So even if you're 1 minute late, it reflects. So the teachers have to be on time or 5 minutes before time. This may be in most of the schools and most of the offices today. Now, you are moving towards the school and you see there's an accident that has happened. How many of us will stop and help? And how many of us will look at it and move ahead? We have become very, very insensitive today. We look at it and we move ahead because maybe once I may stop, second time again I may not stop because I will be late twice to my school, right? So somewhere circumstances make it difficult for us, but at that time we need to see what is right. If 2 people are already there, yes, you may move. But if there is no one there, you have to be there and help out, right? Because humanity comes first. It's easy to speak. It's difficult to practice. Even I know that. How do you show integrity? Simple way of showing integrity, as I was talking about and your friend does proxy for you. So grumbling for proxy is ethically correct. We need to think about this. Should we always do what benefits ourselves the most? Or should we also take into consideration what will it affect or how will it affect others? Why is it important for us to have integrity? As I said, as teachers, we relate to students. It's very important for us to have integrity. How do one show integrity every day at school? We'll just see it in the next slides, at home and at work. We'll see in the next slides. Another 3 examples I have put which happen in day-to-day school. Okay, Suman is in charge of timetable, and whenever in any school we have annual day or sports day, for practicing a zero period is made, right? Or in for grade 9, 10, 11, 12, we have an extra period which is the zero period. Now this teacher, another friend of Suman, wants to come on a normal time to school. She doesn't want a zero period, but she doesn't want to inform the principal also. So she tells her friend that don't put me for zero period because I need to go to attend my son's competition. Is it ethically correct? Do I presume first only that the principal will not give me permission? Even if the permission is not granted, I can always inform the principal and take leave half day, whatever it is. Isn't it? Rather than going and doing something wrong. One more example is a particular teacher, Archana, I put the name, a class 10 mathematics teacher. Exams were scheduled, first term exams were scheduled, right, in December. They were supposed to be in November, December. This teacher wanted to go for a holiday. So she knows that she will not be allowed to go because revision has to be done. So tells the principal that my mother is unwell, so I have to visit. Is this ethically correct? Why can't we speak the truth? It is as simple as that. Third example is Madhav is a data entry operator. He is in charge of the examination cell in a residential school. And he is there for many, many years. So the examination in charge has full trust over him and gives all the details to him. Right? Now, first of all, having so much trust and giving all the details is ethically wrong on the in charge's part. But still, now grade 10, 11 students come to Madhav and tells him, you give us the papers, question papers of the final exam, we will pay you 10,000 per paper. This is something, a situation which is very difficult. Madhav does not come from an affluent family and he is in dire need of money because his sister is supposed to get married. What will Madhav do? Will he take the money? If he does, taking money is fine, but giving the papers, is it ethically correct? Many, many times such things do happen and situations make us go in a little different way. At such times, we need to think, are we really doing right or wrong? And we need to decide for our own self and take a decision which is fair to everyone, not going to hamper anyone, right? Now, there are 5 steps to take any ethical decision making, which helps you to know what is right and wrong. Now, the first one is recognize an ethical issue. Could this decision recognize an ethical issue is, suppose there is a problem, a teacher comes to you with a problem, or you as a teacher faces this problem. We all were facing this problem with online school. Children, when answering the examinations, were taking down the help of Google. And they were writing answers from Google and they were getting good marks. This is which was happening everywhere. But there were students who were really religiously studying and writing the papers also. But as a teacher, you come to know that this child has been not writing on his own and is copying, and you want to put it across to the parent, how will you put? You need to recognize how you are going to put this, because telling someone, a mother, that your child has copied could go ethically very wrong, right? And the child may have not copied. So you need to find out first, understand, recognize the steps, the ethical issue first. Is this issue about that what is legal, what is more efficient? If so, how? And how important it is to the child, to the mother, and to the institute also. So once you need to recognize the issue first, the second step is you get the facts, you collect the facts. You could talk to his friends about whether the child is student is really writing on his own, is he studying, is he taking help of Google. You could also ask the mother, how does the child study? Try to find out all the facts about. This is one example I'm giving you. Facts about. You could surf the net and try to locate the words used by him in the paragraph are same in the answers given in Google. Okay. If that is so, take a photocopy or a screenshot of those topics from where you feel he has copied. Third is evaluate alternate actions. Try to evaluate the options by asking this following questions. Now, every time you may not have these questions, depending on the issue, these type of questions will be there. Which option will produce the most good and do the least harm? Like if you take, this is called as an utilitarian approach. If you say that I'm going to give 0 to you, to the child, is it going to do harm to the child? Is it going to do good to the child, or is it going to be of any useful to the child? Okay, so you need to find out. Second is, what option best respects the rights of all those who are at stake? Right of a child is very, very important. If you may say that the child has copied, but the child may have not copied at all. So in this case, best respect of the right has to be taken. This is called as the right approach. Which option treats people equally or proportionately? Are you giving the right justice to the child? Which option best serves the community as a whole, not just some members? Now, when you're dealing with a decision which is going to affect the entire class, this common good approach will come in. Which option leads me to act as a sort of person I want to be? The virtue approach, how you're going to take it and how you're going to put it. Fifth is make a decision and test. Now, if you're going to tell that child, I'm going to give you 0 without showing the proof, are you going to show the screenshot from where the child has copied and tell him that he is going to get 0? How are you going to make? Make your decision and test that decision. Act and reflect on the outcome. And finally, when you know that you're going to take this decision, take the decision, how that implement the decision, and reflect on the outcomes that happen. You may be right and you may get good outcome. You may be wrong and you may not get a good outcome, but you will learn for the next time. This had happened in our school. We found that few children were copying. So the teachers came to me. So I told them, you will take screenshots and you keep, because when the parent come, they were saying parents will not listen. So I said, it's fine. We had a student who was very studious. Mother was too much after the child also. So when the teacher showed the mother that said that he had copied, mother was not ready to accept. When the teacher showed the screenshot of the answer from the Google site, the mother was shocked. And she replied back saying that, thank you so much, because I was under a wrong impression. So now I will change my strategy. Then we put the child for counseling, all that we did, but it happened for the good. So we need to reflect on the outcome and see how it's going to help. So the 5 steps are: you identify a problem first, you define the problem, explore the problem, take action, and look back and reflect. If you don't reflect, you will not know what you have done is right or wrong. Reflection is always important. Now, creating space for integrity in a classroom, very important. And how can you do this in your classroom? How can you develop integrity of your students in the classroom? Schools are spaces where we prepare young people for life. They acquire skills for career and success. School is a place where you have to give all possible experiences to students. So when they move out of school, somewhere they will use those experiences in life. You have to take school and reach out to real life. Okay, this Mr. Buffett, he had written a beautiful quote. He writes, in looking for people to hire as employees, look for 3 qualities. One is integrity, one is intelligence, and one is energy. And if they don't have the first one, that is integrity, then the other 2 will kill you, are of no use. So a person with integrity is very important. How do children learn to be honest? Right? As I said, one example I gave you initially about the teacher. The second example is the teacher gives homework, right? And never corrects the homework. Once in a while, the teacher corrects the homework. What is that you're passing to the child? That not doing homework is okay, right? Second, when your coordinator checks your books and sees that you have not corrected, you give an answer, a vague answer, which you know is not correct. Your entire class is looking at you and they know that you're not honest. So what are you building in your students? So your honesty has to be strong to build honesty in your children, right? Respect social norms and act in ways consistent with the values, beliefs, morals, and principles they claim to hold. School is a temple of knowledge. It is not a place where religion has to be preached, right? School is a secular place. School has its own norms. So school can believe in all values and school can believe in all beliefs. So you have to teach children the best of all the values, right? How do teachers instill and reinforce a code of ethics in their classroom when evidence suggests high stake testing foster a culture of dishonesty? What I said, like today, everyone is talking not 100% the truth. So we need to bring our children back to that, right? Especially the teenager children, they want to do something, the teacher may not allow, parents may not allow. As a result, they may talk lies. So we need to bring them back to honesty. One simple rule that we can do is, I'll come to that. 5 ways how teacher can develop a culture of integrity. In your class, respect each other. So you respect your students, students will respect you back, and every student should respect each other. This is a culture that you can develop in your class. We try our best. We, like a group, we are a team, right? We are a team. We learn from mistakes. So a student does a mistake, put him with other students, with buddies who can help him so that he learns from there. We create, try to be innovative in class, and we celebrate because we all are wow. So we celebrate. Now, in a classroom, it is very simple. You can have your own classroom rules, right? Now, when you form your classroom rules, you are the person who are making the rules, but you are putting it across to the children that they come out with their rules. Let them come with classroom rules. You can reframe those classroom rules and together make these rules and put it in your class. When anyone disobeys these rules or do not respect these rules, you have to revise these rules every day in the morning and tell the student that this is what we had thought we are going to do and we are not doing it. If you do this, you will see a difference in your class slowly. If students have grades to measure themselves, like often what we do is we give marks, right? Curriculum is everything. Instead of curriculum, keeping it as one part, the other could be we give rewards or grades for courage, for hard work, for determination, for respect for classmates. If we start giving rewards for these things, we will see that there is a type of culture being developed in the class. You will see that the students will also understand the process. This kind of culture fosters creativity. So you need to build up such culture in your class so that they feel good about it. Every month you could give month of the student of the month, and you could put it on your notice board in the class. Not only one, you could have housewives depending on number of activities done. So somewhere these rewards will help children to build their integrity, right? Second is develop a moral vocabulary. According to the Center for Academic Integrity, the fundamental values of academic integrity are responsibility, respect, fairness, trustworthiness, and honesty. Use this type of vocabulary in your class. Tell them stories, tell them, you know, instances about such vocabulary. You will see that there is a change in the classroom because it gets somewhere absorbed by the learner. Respond appropriately when cheating occurs. While teachers cannot control student behavior, they can respond with consistency and enforcing school and classroom policies. What I was telling you about the rules, have these rules in your class. If you have these rules in your class will have certain way of behavior, certain strategy or policy in the class. Your school will have certain policies, bring those policies to your classroom, and this will create an atmosphere of building integrity. So a number of cases which you don't want things to happen in class will move out. Use quotes to ignite meaningful conversation. Again, use different stories, show them different videos to show. I don't know, I cannot play this video right now. It is about the Chandan Jewelers, where Amitabh Bachchan goes to the PF of bank saying that he has got double. You must have seen this ad on the TV. He has got the amount twice added in his account. So the bank manager tells him, it is okay. Who is knowing it? It's okay. Let it be with you. So he tells in return, no, but I cannot take it because I am responsible only for one. I cannot get the amount twice. So please see that you take it back and give it to the required person. Such clips, such videos, if you show the students, I think a lot of things happen. Help students believe in themselves. We need to make the next generation which has to be passionate about work and home. So we need to make these. There's a research proved that students whose teachers were highly strong in integrity showed better respect for others, showed commitment to giving freely of their time and talents, did lot of work and social work for others when they grew up. and were more honest and did not disrespect others. And this was because they had seen this in their teacher. When these students were interviewed and data was collected, they said that their teachers were doing this, and that is how today they have become like this, honest and with integrity. So, living with integrity becomes a way of life. That is what the research has proved, that since they had seen their parents, since they had seen their teachers behaving in this particular way, the children have developed, and that has become a way of life for them. So you can imagine how important it is for you as teachers to develop integrity in your classroom. How high are our ethical standards? Okay. This is like, I'll just read the first one. You know, a taxi, you usually travel by the taxi to the airport, and you know it costs 500 rupees. You have paid it every time when you travel. Okay, so this time you travel and the driver says it is 250. What would you do? Would you give him 250, or would you say 500 is the fare? Your meter is not showing the right fare, right? Second thing, you are dining in a restaurant and you order 4 dishes, and the waiter brought all 4, but by mistake gave you a bill of only three dishes. What will you do here? Will you pay for 4 dishes, or will you pay only for the bill that is given? Right? Now, these two situations, I usually ask people when I meet, when my friends and all, 90% people tell me, why should we tell that person has made a mistake? Why should we tell the truth? But is it ethically correct? The third says, your best friend is terminally ill and you are a life insurance salesman. They need 1 lakh worth of insurance. No one knows, no one can find out that your friend is dying. Would you write or give this policy to your friend? When life comes, everything is on one side and life is on another side. But is it ethically correct to do so? What advice would you give to your children under such circumstances? If your daughter or a son comes and tells you that we went to the restaurant, had 4 dishes, but we paid only for 3, what would you tell your children? Is your behavior confirming with your advice, or would you give your children the same situation in the same? It means what you thought and what advice you give to your children, will it match or will it not match? We start learning ethics right after birth and all throughout our lives. So someone is writing all 4, very nice. That's really what we should do. Ethics starts right from birth. You start understanding and absorbing things right from the day you are born, right? And you grow with it. Can we change ethical behavior? Yes, we need ethical training, and ethical training is nothing big. You follow those 5 steps that I told you. Every time you have to take a decision, follow those 5 steps. If you follow those 5 steps, you will yourself get ethically trained and you will become a better ethical person. What affects ethical? Greed is something which affects ethics, because you want more and more. So greed, fear. At times we behave in a very ethically wrong manner because we want to please society, what society say. So we do not follow what is correct. And third is pressure. We are pressurized so much from all the ends, like the pressure cooker, that we do not let out the air as the pressure cooker lets out, but we behave in wrong way. So take away greed from your life, take away fear from your life, take away pressure from your life, you will become a perfect human being. At work, ethics or lack of it is evidence in every profession, right? Doctors suggest different types of surgeries, not required also. In the truth, right? Parents, children alike tell white lies. One small example about parent telling a lie. I would say you or I, we come home tired. I'm sitting, suppose, on the sofa, relaxing for 10 minutes, and there's a call, and my daughter picks up the call, right? Suppose it happens like this. Most of the time it happens. And I don't want to talk to the person who is on the other side. So I tell my daughter or my son that tell mommy is not at home, right? A small thing, but we do this. In this, we are teaching, not only behaving in a wrong manner, but teaching the same to your children. This also happens in school. Small things, try to introspect. You will and write down 10 things that you can change and become a better ethical person. Accountants and secretaries often falsify reports. Teachers focus more on private tuitions. Very, very open thing this is. I don't teach well in class, I call them to my tuition class. Right? When we cheat the people around us, most of all, we are cheating our own self. When we do this, when we cheat our people around, we do not get a sound sleep. And if we don't get a sound sleep, we are not fresh the next day and we are not doing a good job the next day. Right? So, to have a sound sleep, to have a good, contented life, or happy life, ethics is very, very important. One small example I will give you about our CBSE exams, right? Our CBSE term 1 exams started. We were all, most of us were self centers, right? Some may have got other school as centers. We all had to do invigilation. There was an observer who came. We had to do invigilation in our school. Teachers had to correct, and we had to upload the marks and send the papers. But after some days, CBSE stopped the correction because somewhere something went wrong, right? Somewhere, we don't know where, because we each one of us tried to do the best that we could. Somewhere, they must have come to know something went wrong. As teachers, was it right behaving that way? As teachers, what happened was right? I think we need to think. We really need to think here. Again, when we give internal marks to our grade 10 students, we really need to think, are we ethically doing the right thing? Train the child, make the child ready for the exam, but don't give up wrong marks to the child, because the child knows his own capabilities, and when he will get those full marks in internals, he knows how he has got those marks or the teacher has given him. So what are we inculcating in our students, right? So we need to be very, very correct in our behavior, very, very ethically strong. It is a very dicey situation at times, but yes, we need to stand for what is true. I have a small 10 minutes, I will take more. This is something which I want you all to function and do it at home. Mr. Stephen Covey, in his book on 7 habits, suggested that there are 3 circles. Okay, the inside one is circle of control, which is right in control of you. You can have control of this. Then is the circle of influence, where you can influence others, and this is circle of concern. Small example here, circle of control. I have full control of speaking the truth, full control of being honest, right? Full control of doing what is right. No one can stop me, correct? I have the full control of eating what I want. No one can stop me. Circle of concern is I am concerned about the world, but I don't do anything for it. I say, oh, where my screen went? It's okay. I keep saying that, it is so hot. It is so hot. You can't do anything about being so hot, right? So let things go as it is. That is my circle of concern. Circle of influence is the circle that you can influence others. You can actually make, people, 1 minute. You can influence others. So try to increase your circle of influence. When you increase your circle of influence, I don't know why it is not sharing. It's okay. I've come to the last part. Increase your circle of control, increase your circle of influence. When you increase your circle of influence, you will see that your circle of concern becomes smaller and smaller. Sitting and cribbing about things that this is not happening is something you cannot do. So start control of your own self. Start controlling your own self. If you start controlling your own self, you will become a better person. You will enjoy your life and you will go ahead as a strong ethical person, right? When you control yourself, just a minute. When you control yourself, you can design your life. So design your life from today. Pen down 10 things that are ethically correct and you are not doing at times. We cannot say that I do everything 100%. No, it does not happen. Though we may say we are doing, be honest to yourself, that is integrity. And start training yourself in those 10 things. Design your life, take charge of your life, and you will see a difference in your own self. You will see that you have changed over as a person. Think about yourself first and then go and think about the world. If you start becoming self aware about your integrity, you will pass it on to others, right? So, over the next week, when you deal with prioritizing, when you are dealing with difficult situation, think to yourself, is this my circle of concern, circle of influence, or circle of control? And handle it accordingly. If you start increasing your circle of influence, you will have success, and success leads to better life. We all know, right? So start working on your ethical behavior and start becoming better human beings. I hope you all enjoyed the session. If you have any queries or questions, you could put in the chat box so that I can answer. Another small suggestion here. In the beginning also I said, when we attend a workshop, the resource person also said with many things, y'all, there are a lot of online hear, understand, make notes, take few points, and go back home. You will get your attendance link in the last 10 minutes, isn't it? So let us do things. These are small, small things that we all need to work on, right? We all need to work on. So all the best and work on yourself. That's the most important. Any question in the chat box? I'm sorry if I have hurt someone who has put about the link, but it is something I thought I should share because it is not only here, it happens everywhere, nowhere, everywhere it happens. right? Any question you want me to answer, please put in the chat box. Hope you all enjoyed the session.
Sorry, ma'am.
Yes, no issues.
सॉरी फॉर एक्चुअली कुछ पार्टिसिपेंट्स ऐसे हैं जो अपनी आदत से मजबूर होते हैं बराबर हम लोग इस
नहीं
बात का
नहीं, इसीलिए
अनाउंसमेंट
मैंने
करते हैं कि अटेंडेंस लिंक की डिमांड न करें और कुछ ऐसा चैट बॉक्स में नहीं डालें जिससे कि जो हमारे रिसोर्स पर्सन हैं वो डिस्टर्ब हो
नहीं नहीं
फिर भी
मैं नहीं सर, मैं डिस्टर्ब नहीं हुई. आई थॉट सिंस दिस इज एथिक्स एंड इंटीग्रिटी, मैं रिलेट करूं,
एग्जैक्टली
उसको.
चंदन जी
हाँ सर, बताएं सुधीर बाबू.
हाँ आप काइंडली वो ये रिकॉर्डिंग ऑफ कर दें
या
ठीक ठीक ठीक.
ये मैम
बिकॉज yes,